being a real estate agent is way, way, way more than just earning a commission. You have to like educate your sellers. You have to make sure that you do your due diligence, like all this search. For example, normally from where I come from, it falls on your representative, your real estate agent to do. So when you eyeball a property, or even before you even present a property to a client, you need to make sure that you've done at the basic level first. You've gathered various information. That's if you're not personally representing the property.
So people buy houses and they don't bother themselves to say, okay, let me work with this particular agent for the length of this house at least. No, they buy the house. The agent they used to buy it is different from the agent to rent it, different from the agent to manage it, different from the agent to sell it.
That in itself gives room for a lot of confusion within the industry.
And that also encourages agents not to care.
Yes.
So they'll be like, I better make I collect my this thing and be going forward. I don't want all those issues.
Yeah. Steeped in real estate. So, Mr. Uzor, so I've been thinking about this steeped in real estate for a while, and it's been something that's been sitting in my to-do list I've been steeped in the idea, the idea only. And it's been in my to-do list for, God knows how long. I actually had a trip to Nigeria one time where I interviewed a couple of developers. I still have those footage, and maybe one day I'll get to share it, as you know. But then again, you came along and then you saw it. I'm like, we got to get on this right away. And here we are today. So I'm so excited to be bringing to you for the very first time, Steeped in Real Estate with my co-host. I'll let him introduce himself so I don't kind of butcher your name.
Yeah.
But I call him Bushman.
Yes. My name is Valentine Uzor, and I'm the CEO of Bushman Realty and Bushman Africana.
Amazing. So that's a modest introduction.
Yeah.
Straight to the point.
Yes.
So I'm Winifred Ogiugo, and I am the founder of Lux Legacy Realty Nigeria. I'm also a registered real estate agent in Ontario with the TREB board. So we're so excited to be bringing to you Steeped in Real Estate. So Steeped in Real Estate is actually going to be about, like the name implied, it's kind of like immersing yourself in real estate conversations. As the time really go along, we'll invite special guests, special people that have more deeper, richer perspective within the Nigerian real estate space. We will also have some Canadians here so that my Canadian friends and fans will not be left out of the conversation. So yeah, Steeped in Real Estate is going to be exploring our personal lived experiences and also trying to share more educational perspective into, real estate conversations.
We also have viral conversations.
Exactly.
A lot of things to be said.
Yeah.
So we'll also talk about that. And people can also share what they think.
Exactly. And share their experiences, ask questions. If we don't know the answer, I know for myself though, and I know Mr. Uzor will do the same thing, or Bushman will do the same thing. If we don't have the answer, we'll find it. That's like a promise. Because we're always seeking new perspective, new experiences. And we hope that this space will be a space for real estate agents, for developers, for buyers, for diaspora buyers, especially that are looking to repatriate their funds from wherever they are in the US, Canada, UK, doesn't matter where you are in the world, and you're looking to either invest in Nigeria and in Canada. We hope that this podcast will give you a richer depth of understanding before you actually take the step forward to invest. I think another thing that, we could also bring is guidance to buyers.
Yes. I feel like buyers need a lot of information, and not just, because these days everybody has information, spaghetti of information, but now we would, bring out that spaghetti and make it
more spicy.
It cannot be clean, and you know exactly how you're going to go about it.
Yes. And also another thing is we also like to share stories about people, what you've experienced, in the real estate. I know that a lot and lot. Oh my God, the stories from Nigeria can go on for years, no end. In fact, if we make this Steeped in Real Estate just about the stories and lived in, experiences about people. No, we won't. So we'll flog some people. We'll flog some actors, some bad actors. We'll also celebrate people that need to be celebrated, because people are doing a lot of good, in the real estate space. I think, we sometimes in the news, we hear a lot about the bad stuff a lot.
They don't talk about the good.
They don't talk about the good, though.
Real solutions to real problems.
I think real estate is also one of the drivers that are making people millionaires, especially in Nigeria right now.
Yeah.
The return is crazy.
For the past 10 years, it's been leading. Like it moved from the 5th contributor to our GDP, and now it's like in the 3rd.
You see? Yeah. So real estate, but you don't hear that in the news. Mm-hmm. You only hear the fact that, this developer did that. So rotten eggs, spoiling the for bad apples. What they say, bad apples.
Yeah, the truth is that we as Nigerians, we love to promote bad things, and we don't really understand PR.
Yeah.
I feel like we're the worst. We're not the worst, actually.
Yeah. I mean, Nigerian real estate has actually transformed over the years. For me, I think that even the mindset behind Nigerian real estate.
The thing is, people now understand that we have to invest through real estate as a way to create wealth. Before, our forefathers bought real estate just for the fun of it.
To live in it.
Wanted to just own it, to be like, okay, owns that acres of land, for no exact reason. But these people are buying as a way to actually get financial freedom and actually start experiencing what the world has to offer. Yeah. So it's more like a tool these days, more than a legacy and figure.
Yeah. So it's not the end in itself. It's kind of like a means to an end. Yes. And the end is usually financial freedom, yes. Financial independence, whatever it is. Most people, I think one cultural shock I had when I got to Canada is the fact that nobody truly owned their home. Let me put it that way. Mm-hmm. Well, of course, there are a few people that have paid out their mortgages.
Okay, you pay a mortgage.
Yeah. But nobody truly owned their own. Mm-hmm. Like you're buying a house with 5%. That wasn't the mindset that, like, for me, I figured, like, for me going into Canada, I was like, if you can afford it, you can afford it. If I tell you it's $1 million, you best believe that you have to count out that $1 million from your pocket.
That was your thoughts.
That's it.
Okay.
And that thought kind of held me back a long time in Canada because, I didn't buy. I didn't even think it was possible for somebody like me to own a home. This is why I got into real estate in the first place, actually. Okay. So I'll tell the story. It was back in, what year was that again? I think it was 2013. See, mind you, I've been in Canada since 2004. Okay. So in 2013, I was renting a condo in a place called Brampton. So Brampton is kind of like around Toronto, GTA area. And my rent was about $1,500. That was back then, 2012, actually. Mm-hmm. It was about $1,500. And the landlord automatically called me and she said she wants to sell. She's like, Winifred, buy this place. And I'm like, where? She was like, take it for, like, it's worth like 100,000 or so. But since you are renting it from me, maybe you can take it for 89,000 to 90,000. Something. I'm like, from where? Like, that's not possible. Yeah. Then, you know that I stayed up all night because I had a little baby, like my son, I think it was about 3, maybe 5, 6, 7 years old. I can't remember his age at that time. And I had my little sister who I was responsible for as a legal guardian. So I had 2 kids, basically. And I was like, I stayed up all night worrying about, I literally just moved into that unit 6 months ago. Okay. And I did not sleep. I was like, God, now I have to move. Now I have to move again. For 2 nights, I literally did not blink. And eventually, luckily, well, maybe not so luckily, I found another unit in the same building. Because you know how the school work in Canada, when you buy a property, the school your kids go to is tied to your address. Okay. So moving is a big deal when you have little kids. If you move, it means you have to if you move outside of the school district, it means you have to get them a new school. You have to like resettle your family. And they were like, they just started. They were new kids and then they are going to be new kids in school again. So it was really troublesome. But then again, if only I knew what I know now, all I needed to own that house was what? Less than $15,000.
And you had it.
5%. And I had that money in my bank account.
Actually, when I started doing my own research on real estate outside of Africa. I just left Africa. I just wanted to know what was actually
happening on the
other side. I also got to realize that, like, there's this woman on Instagram. I'm a big fan of Instagram, please. So I met I saw her page, and then she teaches wealth and how she got into America from Uganda without one kobo, and she got there, and she's within 5 years she's able to do this. And so, me generally, I at least have this. I'm like, I wait for the real story. But then, as I keep because I actually followed her that day, I was now trying to know what the real story was. And then one day she shared how she actually broke down how she got there. So first of all, you have to watch your credit, reduce your expenditure. You have to make sure that you have a good credit. And then at the end of the day, you have to buy small first.
And then upgrade.
And then put in house hacking. I'm like, okay, that's actually doable. No wonder people talk about the American dream. Because America it's not like, I don't think wealth creation is hard. I just feel like we don't have enough tools in
Nigeria, in Africa in general.
If you have a plan and you go to a country that is working with your plan, you can actually do something.
Yes.
And people rely a lot on hard work.
Yes.
Most Nigerians still travel outside the country and they're still relying, they don't know these things. Even if they know it, that's stigma and trauma of leave loans, so loans will kill you. Definitely run away from it. Not knowing that every person you're seeing there is, most billionaires they are looking at actually don't own what.
Nobody owns nothing. It's other people's money. That's the concept. Other people's money. That's how people build wealth in outside of Nigeria. So really, for those that are actually joining within the Nigerian space, really, my hat,
yes,
take your crown. Take your crown. I don't think a homeowner in Canada or in the US should compare themselves to homeowners in Nigeria. It's two different ballgames.
It's 100% risk. And that's why the government can just wake up and do some crazy things. Because that they're not affected by it. When you keep doing this kind of thing that they do here, over there, the government backs these loans. So the economy will be affected. Debt will be affected, and they can't just do that. But here, it's more like a personal economy. You handle the house is yours, you have paid for it.
And that's it.
So whatever happens is just on you.
It's on you. If at the end of the day, there's flood gushing through your property.
And that's the problem.
Insurance too is another thing.
Okay.
So homeowners don't carry their risk. Right? So especially when you're using a mortgage, it's kind of mandatory for you to have homeowners insurance. If anything happens, there's a fire or whatever the case is, it's stressful because maybe your personal belongings are bonds, you have personal attachment to certain things. But with insurance,
you know that there's money somewhere.
Money somewhere. The only thing you worry about is your deductible. Even that is stressful for some people. Like people that have like $5,000 deductible. So if there's an act of God, snow kind of coming, there's a storm or earthquake carries your house away, as long as you're insured, you breathe easy.
This insurance is not actually for people that are actually in Nigeria. It's not foreign. It's not so foreign. There are actually insurance companies that give good insurance offers. I actually heard about it that I can actually insure my own car. I didn't know that was possible.
Yes.
Like not just to insure in the sense of you can actually do a full insurance,
comprehensive coverage for your car. Yeah.
And they're sincere,
Yeah. Okay, so that's interesting to know. So insurance is not a concept that a lot of people talk about when it comes to home ownership. That they have to kind of pay to transfer of risk to the insurance company. Why do you think that conversation is not had here?
Nobody's having it. Nobody. Sometimes information can just be there, but because nobody has picked it up to share it.
Yeah.
And I realized that people that are into sales are so shy. And I wonder how you're going to survive. So most insurance salespeople, I know some, right? And they have never come to meet me to actually sell it. And it's not just to sell it, to keep telling me why I have to keep.
Why you need it, like the benefit of it.
So the only insurance advert I see is on TV.
Wow.
Nobody has ever called on the phone and said, so please and you just call today, you call tomorrow because sometimes sales is not just about problems that people have. Sometimes it's a problem that they don't know exists. They actually have.
Yes. So if you know of any good insurance product that covers home ownership and you can transfer your risk, I'd like to know more about it. I don't know if
I don't actually. Like I said, nobody has actually come to meet me. And that problem is the people that actually own the business are not even
talking about it.
How they can actually, because naturally, if I own an insurance company and I insure houses, which they do, Yes, because the few times I had that conversation with my people, the people that told me about it, they mentioned houses, life insurance too.
Life insurance, yeah.
So they also, it exists. It's just that you're not marketing your product. The only product that sells is the product that's marketed.
Wow. So yeah, maybe we should try, like, anyway, if you're watching this and you know of a good mortgage insurance that insures property, just educate us, put it in the comment section, let us know about it. Let's know that this product exists in Nigeria. So another thing then I wanted to talk about, over the last few weeks now, we've seen that there've been a lot of flood in Lagos. And we had a conversation off camera about who is responsible for this. And, for me personally, I believe that the actors are not just the government, they're also the developers and also citizens. Because if you look at the cause of this, the developers have a lot of role to play in it. I think I was looking at Google Map the other day, and I was actually trying to design something to kind of pinpoint where a lot of the issues are with Google Map. You can see that some of the canals, especially around Freedom Way, they were dredged.
And they're still dredging up to now.
And they're still dredging up to now. And that's where the water is supposed to kind of channel through, where stormwater management comes in from the city planning to kind of direct it back into the lagoon. So we have that water completely cut off right now.
So have you been to Orange, not Orange Island, but Lekki for sure? Have you been there?
No, I haven't. I've been around Lekki for sure.
If you've been there, you see that there's a huge, they still have that. So I don't think the problem is whether these things can be done or whether it's just people being intentional. I feel like the problem we have as a society is intentionality. Because yes, people are building on canals. That's also a lack of intentions to protect the environment that you are living in. But ultimately, we should not be talking about this thing like it can't be done. We can actually start it today.
Exactly.
So because why I'm saying that is because you have said it has been done already. Like, yeah, the problem they have done it, but we can still
fix it. So now we're in remediation. We have to put it back the way it ought to be. But the point is, right now we have situations whereby the water is trapped inland. Because there's no channel for it to flow.
So to create a channel, right?
Yeah, to create a channel,
I'm not an expert or anything, but I feel like these things can actually be done. It's just to sit with it and create a solution. The thing is, nobody, and when I say nobody, I'm talking about the government. The government doesn't actually want to sit down and solve this problem. They're just reacting to it. Yeah. I saw a post recently by the commissioner of works, and he was talking about how they're coming to Agoge to come and break some houses. And my question is, why didn't you
break the houses before?
No, there was no need to break anything if you were proactive about it. There's no, I mean, and these are like people's lands, people's personal property, their family's properties. So they feel like they should do whatever they want to do with their land. So your job as the government is to proactively educate them that you cannot sell this part of the land. And sometimes you don't stop at education. You know the country that you're inside. You know the kind of people that you need. So sometimes you put these structures in place to show everybody that this place cannot be touched. But that's not the case. The case is when you are done, and because like we talked, the economy is backed by final consumers, people that pay outrightly. So because they are not affected by it, they just allow it to happen, and then they react like this one that they're about to do. I don't know if they've done it, but they announced it recently.
And I don't even know how they are. Honestly, I don't know how they are compensating the people that are losing. Like,
the compensation is bad. I mean, I don't know why the people that are. I said maybe they are lying, but they always claim that the government doesn't pay them. Even
maybe not adequately, maybe a little bit, but because I don't think you can actually fully quantify the amount of resources that go into losing your property. Sometimes they and there is also emotional distress associated with that as well. For me, I feel like that should be monetized
do you know how the government values I don't know if I read this online, right? But how the government actually values what they pay you back.
Right.
It's not the land.
What they use
is what is on the land. So if you bought a land, for example, and all you have on it is a kitchen line.
Right.
The land is worth 1 billion naira.
They will just give you another land. They said take another one. I heard they did that one too. No, they did that in Ekpe.
That's for a family.
Yes.
That's for a community, a family. But when it is an individual,
Wow.
So they will tell you is compensation. But if they compensate, that is what what they are legally obliged to do, is to compensate for the kitchen line, not the 1 billion naira property. So the 1 billion property is gone.
So I think it's fair for people to say, if that's the case, fair for people to say, but we have to fact check these things. But it's fair for people to say, yeah, I didn't get payment for it. I didn't get compensated for it.
Mm-hmm.
Because sometimes I've seen situations whereby they demolish buildings with people's property still inside because they didn't move, and they adequate notice too. Because you'll be thinking like it's a joke. Like I've lived there for 10 years.
It's not possible.
From nowhere, you want to come and tear down my building. And in some instances too, they have CFO.
CFO. So it's crazy. The nation is crazy, honestly. So there's this particular story that happened in Magodo, right? I knew about it because back then I was working with my uncle, and the people that came to disturb the people in Magodo, somehow we are affiliated with them. So we know that they have a document that back this down to 1960 was done by Herbert Macaulay. I don't want to mention their name, but I'm talking about the family.
Yeah.
But the survey was done by Herbert Macaulay, and they own the land. Like the ownership is long, right? From the mainland straight down to the island. I'm talking down to Ekpe, Ibekileki, some parts of Ogun State. You know. So, anyways, Magodo was affected. So what happened was the children of the woman, or the descendants of the owner of the land, right, didn't come to claim the property. They all traveled outside the country. Yeah. So one day somebody wakes up and is like, just does the documents and says, let's go and fight for. And they gave it to the person now that we are affiliated with here in Nigeria. So the guy comes back with the document, and that's like power to take over these properties. And one of them was Magodo. Yeah, the video is online where Sanwo-Olu was being held back from entering into Magodo by the people. I think it was backed by federal government. It's a lot. Yeah, yeah. But the major thing is that somebody can come and claim your CFO property. Wow. With something that back this more than they want. So the question is, if it's a sincere government, right? When somebody comes to do a CFO on the land, first of all, there should be a record that tallies. We should know that, okay, this is the history of this land. So first of all, you should be asking, why are you coming to do a fresh CFO? Or even if it's not a fresh CFO, but why are you coming to do a fresh document on this land when there is history? Right? But that's not what happens. You can actually have a registered survey on two registered surveys on one property. You can even have 10. The same government will do it for you. And they won't say, oh, there's already a registered survey here. This is already they take the money and they register it for you. I mean, what protection really exists for consumers? I know that there are ways that you can protect yourself, but I mean, you check, and you check again, and you make sure that, you can prove what you can prove, right? Another thing is, are there any way that, you can hold either the government accountable from your own knowledge? I know you probably would not have better insight. I'm just thinking out loud now. Accountable. If you checked, and then, and then something like this happens. So the thing is, to be very honest, just to be fair on the government too, because I know I'm more like on them, but to be very honest, from my experience, people buy properties in the craziest way. Most people don't check, and the people that they trust to have checked don't actually exactly. So they just buy. Most people just buy. Yes. Most people come around that I like the property. I want to pay for it, and they don't remember to even check. They're like, this developer will go build this house for you in demand. He must have definitely done his research before you build this. So assumptions. Let me just pay. And it always happens with. I have that experience with young buyers. I think for people from 40, they're always more careful. They want to ask the right questions and keep checking. But I feel like, despite all the issues that might exist, I'm also a huge real estate investor myself. Yeah. So it's not like maybe you win some. And Nigeria, one thing I've noticed, the kind of return you get on your investments is unmatched. That's why you should. It's unmatched. So you spread your risk. For example, you do your due diligence, of course. You check again. And there are ways, there are systems in place. And if I must add now, if I must add, I was just thinking about it this morning.
Yeah.
The way you used to do your due diligence last 5 years
That's
is
changed.
different from the way it is right now. Right now, you have to involve Google Earth.
Yes.
Even the government says it's good to go. You go involve your Google Earth. You do a lot of search aside what the government has told you. Recently, I also learned that you also have to do like a court case search.
Yes.
You have to make sure that on that part there's no court case. Court cases, the thing is, court cases are so funny that there could be a court case going on a property, but nobody will come to the property to put under litigation. So except you go and you deeply search. And there was a time we were doing a search and we had to go to Ibadan for a property in Lagos to get the court record. They call it a national court. I think it's one big building where they keep all the archives of past court cases and all of that. Sometimes to find your own particular court case, you have to go straight down to Ibadan to get it. So I feel like right now, especially when you're making a substantial purchase, it's better. Also, let me backtrack a little bit before I lead into my next conversation. So the way we met, we met through we're looking to either buy or rent a place, and that's how Bushman and I met for the first time. And what actually stuck with me after meeting you was the fact that you were kind of different from the typical Nigeria agent, so which is amazing. And being like a real estate agent myself, I kind of noticed that this is somebody that is different from what I knew, because I was coming in with the mindset that I want to do different. I don't see anybody that is doing different. Everybody is just acting as if they're just there for, I want to show you a property and buy from me. Just as if it's just about the commission. And I'm always like, being a real estate agent is way, way, way more than just earning a commission. You have to educate your sellers. You have to make sure that you do your due diligence, like all this search. For example, normally from where I come from, it falls on your representative, your real estate agent to do. So when you eyeball a property, or even before you even present a property to a client, you need to make sure that you've done at the basic level first. You've gathered various information until if you're not personally representing the property. No. Sorry, to just to touch up there. So in Canada and in US, there's something called the buyer's agent and the seller's agent.
Yes.
Now, a seller's agent can go to sleep. A buyer's agent might not, because a seller's agent can, once he has the house, I have the house, so you want to go check the house, you look at how to access it and
go there.
But I think here, where you might even say you're a seller's agent, is in few cases some seasoned investors that understand, not just that they understand, but they are just quality people that don't want to deal with a lot of people at the same time.
Yes. So why should anybody?
Exactly. But that's for quality Nigerians. The basic Nigerian wants to sell his property. And we're in a country where real estate is not that regulated.
Not regulated at all, in my opinion.
It's not that regulated. I would say like 20% regulated. Yeah. So in that kind of a country, the people want to, that's why I keep telling you about the chicken and the egg.
Yeah.
If the government is there, then the people would actually be coordinated. But in a situation where the government is hardly interested in what we're doing, I just have to do what I want to do.
Right.
Now, I'm not talking about regulation of cost of real estate, because that cannot be regulated. I'm talking about the regulation of the practice
of real estate.
Right? So in the question that you were asking, you see that people buy houses and they don't actually go to, they don't bother themselves to say, okay, let me work with this particular agent for the length of this house at least. No, they buy the house. The agent they used to buy it is different from the agent to rent it, different from the agent to manage it, different from the agent to sell it.
That in itself gives room for a lot of confusion within the industry.
And that also encourages agents not to care.
Yes.
So they'll be like, I better make I collect my this and be going forward. I don't want all those issues.
Yes. In fact, people, when I say that, okay, this is how I want to practice real estate in Nigeria, when I just came in before I set up my practice, and I tell people, I tell even other agents that are very good friends of mine, that this is how I want to do it. they think I'm crazy. I was like, well, that works in Canada, but it doesn't work in Nigeria. You know, you have to modify yourself to, and I'm always like, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to become part of for me, it's like becoming part of the problem.
Yes.
Right? So I'm not going to do that. If a buyer won't trust me to represent them, then this is not a client's relationship then. I'll be wasting my time. One thing, I think we do a lot of wasting of time here too. Yes. Because of that. So there's also like that opportunity cost. Like the buyers are losing, the agents are losing.
The thing is most, the
sellers are even the ones that are even losing more.
Everybody is just acting as if we can't just, be cultured.
Yeah.
Right? You meet a buyer, and that's why these days it looks like people, I hope not. I hope people don't see me that way, but most agents reach out to me and they act like they might feel that I don't really want to do business with them, but that's not the case. Sometimes I already realize that client you're talking to is not your client.
Oh, I had that experience. Oh my God.
He's talking to over 5 people at the same time. So now I'm thinking, do you want me to keep fighting for your attention? I mean, you should.
Right.
You have reached out to me. I feel like that. That's why I invest a lot on my social media, because
right.
I want you to go and know who you're reaching out to.
Yes.
So when you reach out to me, you should be at peace that you're dealing. I shouldn't be trying to solve your problem. I'm thinking maybe he's talking to another agent. So why would I be stressing myself?
For me, I've said it. Going forward, any buyer, whether it's through somebody else or direct, I'm not moving an inch without KYC. I would personally do the KYC because time is
I can show you so many KYC forms that I have sent to clients, and they just answer 1 or 2 questions, and I keep wondering. You see that I even made a video about this because I keep wondering. First of all, there's this issue of inspection fees that clients complain about. Yes. They're taking inspection fees. When I was getting my house recently, I paid about 100,000 naira inspection fee. And I didn't complain about it. Not that it wasn't painful, but I know why I should not be complaining about it.
Right.
Because you are saying that you don't want somebody to collect inspection fee from you. You are hiding information as to how they can serve you once and for all. So we go on the first house. So someone would go to inspect with me, and then they're telling me, how come the door is if the door was important to you, you should have told me that I want this
certain doors,
doors, Magonian, anything that is Peruvian. Tell me ahead of time. Let me know. So when I'm taking to the house, I take it straight. If I don't have it, I tell you I don't have it yet.
Yes. We're still looking.
You can never ask me for a 2-bedroom. I'll send you a 3-bedroom. It's not possible. If you want a 2-bedroom, I will stick to that 2-bedroom. But in the case where, and that's the highest is open budget, I will never reply you with your open budget. I will never.
Because nobody has a blank check.
Okay, that's not possible.
So where I feel like, maybe it can be different, because if somebody wants to buy a property, the first thing I think should happen personally is the consultation. This is where we explore what you're looking for, why you're doing it, because sometimes buyers don't know what they want.
They have this spaghetti of information.
Yes.
So you should jump on that call
we clarify, and that's where the agent comes in to educate, to kind of like direct their thoughts into the right direction. Because somebody might say, I've gotten a couple of calls, even from my Canadian clients. They say, oh, we want to buy a house. What is your budget? And like, oh, let's just see what you have. No. You can't see what I have, because it's based on what you can afford that I can now show you what your budget can take you for. Then the question I always ask, why? What is your driver? What is your motivation? Because sometimes people want to buy a house as investment and they're looking for 5-bedroom.
Yes.
I'm looking for you. Like, why?
I feel like we'll talk about that one on a normal.
They will get there. So
because you should never be touching a 5-bedroom. You're talking about
investment property. That's an end user product. It's not an investment property. But if you tell me that you're looking for a place, I want a place that, because I'm coming here with my children. I want to be able to live there. And stuff like that. Then we're having a different conversation. But somebody wants a 5-bedroom and they have a budget of maybe 200 million. And they are thinking that Lagos is still the Lagos that they left 10 years ago. And it's like, oh, Lekki, anywhere close to, I like the island, but at least I can just enter the 10 Million Bridge and get to the airport. Maybe.
Let's not exceed Chevron.
Yeah.
Out of land Chevron, for like 300 million.
Yeah. So I'm like, okay, we're looking at Ekpe now. Your 5 bedrooms. I mean, it's still Lekki, but yeah, not just the Lekki that you knew of 10 years ago. So things have changed. The investor mindset have changed. The demand too for investor properties have changed. A lot has changed.
Even developers are building houses and they're not building for the people.
They are building for investors.
No, they're not even building for investors. They're building for, let me tell you what their mindset is. So first of all, developers are like 80% of them are from the East, right? So their mindset is high turnover. They don't focus on real solutions. And that's the basic Igbo man problem. And Igbo man myself. So I know how
so you can crucify people.
So every time that they are thinking about building, they're thinking of how would I put in this to get this with low effort.
Wow.
So that's why they don't think of apartment buildings. Apartment buildings have a lot of, milestones and planning and, decking. It's not like a terrace duplex or a 4-bedroom, fully detached or 5-bedroom, or all this mansion or luxury homes that is all over the place. Those ones are like straightforward. They just go straight to it. But the thing is, you are not building for, okay, let's look at data. The Lagos population, about 40%, or if not, I'm being modest now, but about 40 to 50% is people within the ages of 0 to, say, 35. Right? So let's leave the rental market. Now we're talking about real estate. So let's focus on real estate, right? People that would rent are between the ages of 25, right, to say 40 or 45. At 45, you want to start buying, right? So let's just say 40. Now, if the population is like 40% of 25 to 40, and you are building everywhere fully detached,
you're not building for the reality of
you're not building for. That's why you have shared apartments all over the place. So after buying the house, you rent it. People now take one room.
Right.
And the one room, they don't know the next. It's not like it's a bad thing. People do house hacking too.
Yeah.
It's called house hacking outside the country.
That's all. That's pretty much what it is.
Yeah, but then that's for people. Sometimes it's like group of friends that rent houses and then they hack the house, right?
Yeah.
But in this situation, it's not a group of friends. It's people that just came to Lagos. They want a house, but the only thing available that is within their budget as young people is the shared apartment.
Right.
But there should be like 1 bedroom. I'm not saying it should be cheap. Because the shared apartment is not cheap.
It's not cheap.
Yeah, so why not build a 1-bedroom apartment and put it for the same thing that they will pay for a shared apartment? But that's not what happened because it takes time, it's stressful, and the turnover is not so crazy.
Yeah. But I mean, I see it. That's, even apart from the fact that they are not building for the reality, even when they do build for the reality, like I know in Lekki now and Ikoyi, we're seeing a lot of bachelor's apartments. I think they call it self-connier. 1 bedrooms, 2 bedrooms, which is kind of like in tune to what you're saying, that there's more demand for that now.
You know why they're doing it in Lekki? Because they can mark up crazy. And the somehow what works there is short-let apartments.
Yes.
Yeah, so to build the fully detached duplexes will be in billions. Nobody will want to buy that. It goes faster when it's still in 200 million, 300 million.
Yeah.
And that's why they now go to 1 bedroom, 2 bedroom. It's not like they enjoy it. I'm sure they don't. I'm very, very sure they don't. But it's what the market is calling for.
Them. And because the land cost
Lekki has forced them,
to do that.
And again, you have to build vertical.
Yes.
So in order to maximize profits, where the only way you can make profits in Lekki is it has to get to billions.
Yeah.
Right. But because they know that billions takes time to close, they now want to make it in millions, and that's why they do
those apartments.
It's not like they want to. I know that.
Yeah, because it's very obvious. I did a tour the other day and I went to see potential development, some in Lekki, some in Ikoyi. When I go into Ikoyi is now very premium, obviously, because you know that the kind of people that are getting, because everybody is thinking about proximity to those kind of prominent neighborhood. So Lekki becomes like the dumping ground for all the bad development, even though most people will still think that, that's premium. But it becomes like
commercialized.
It's commercialized, yeah.
Not like it's commercial. If
you look at it.
It's like commercial residential.
I've seen some horrible developments. And I just ask myself, why would somebody invest all their money to put something out there that they can't proudly put their name to? Because for me, that's what that is, right? Because if I'm going to build a property, whether for myself or to resell, I want to be able to point to it and say, did you see that? Did you see what we did there? Did you see this is what we considered when we did this? That people will know that you had them in mind when you were developing.
Thinking about it now, I've never had any developer tell me go to my past projects. Never. I'm not sure. So,
that's the problem.
You always stick to that one that you're seeing. So see this one, see it.
Yes.
See the room, because they never tell you to go back to the past ones.
I have met a few developers. I've been very fortunate, by the way, to work with like very good developers. And one of the things that I look for.
Sorry to cut you.
Yeah.
When you say fortunate, you're talking about VI, Ikoyi.
Yes.
That place is not part of the Lagos you're talking about. It's not part of it, because Lekki, VI, even myself, when I see properties built in Ikoyi, I'm like, this same Nigerian.
Yeah.
So I know what is going on there. I'm not talking about that. What I'm talking about starts from Lekki phase 1 is even
like phase 2 area.
I'm talking about I think Ikate is still okay. I'm talking about Jakonde down. From Jakonde is a mess. It's a total mess. But from Ikate, Lekki, you can see some good projects there.
I mean, there are some good ones, but there are also some very, very bad ones, I must say. For example, how do you build and not even consider how people are going to move through the building? Like, the floor plan is very important, and to me, I feel like they actually end up wasting more. I went into a property in Lekki, like a development property, I was going to say. And when I looked at the mess the developer created in the name of saving cost, I'm not an architect or an engineer, but I can tell that it would have cost them way less to do the right thing.
Yeah. It always costs way less to do the property. It's going to be expensive then, quote unquote.
Yes.
But by the time you start enjoying, you see that was so cheap.
Yes. Because even just with the floor, imagine you just put a wall in the middle of the floor plan, like a wall that has no function.
I can tell you for sure that whatever tile that you saw in a developer in this, they're not brothers, so they don't know each other. But the tile you saw on that property, go down the next 5 houses. That's the same tile you see. So it's more like they call the same supplier.
I say just bring whatever you have. What do you have? Bring everything like that.
Not shades.
No intentionality
at all.
I mean, this is not to say that all Nigerian developers are like that. I think we've mentioned that there are few good ones, very few good ones. And personally, I've met and I work with some of them, some of the good ones. And for me, it's not every property. I don't know. I think that's the same with you, right? We talked about it. It's not all properties that I even talk about.
No. I've told myself that if personally I can't even drive, not even to live there, if I can't drive peacefully into that area, I'm not even touching it.
Yeah. So, like, if somebody called me, the ones I know are the ones I know.
Yeah.
If you know a good one and maybe you found it yourself and I'm going to represent you, then I'll probably will look into it to say, let me do my research. But just to advise, because I don't know, I think that's probably why I'm not a billionaire today. Because I kind of wear my clients' problems. I carry, I've put myself in that situation a lot to say, okay, how will I feel if I buy this? Or if, somebody told me to buy it and I believe that person, because there's a trust there, right? For you to be listening to somebody tell you that, okay, I've checked it, I did this, I did that, and I did not. I can't live with myself. So I don't know how people do it.
So the thing is, one of the things, not one of them, if I wanted to be outside the country, I would have. Trust me, if my siblings are watching this, they'll be like, I should have left this country since as I'm talking to you today, they're still on my neck. But the thing is, the reason why I'm here is out of passion. It's just pure passion. Because when I got into real estate, not like I didn't just get into it from nowhere. My dad did real estate all his life and still is. My grandfather did some real estate.
Wow.
So it was like a family thing. So I've been hearing about power of attorney from when I was like 2 years or 3 years. So I just got into it. First of all, let me just not lie. I'm on camera. I love the money. The
money is good. It can be very sweet.
I just love when they're mentioning big money. I'm like, I should be here when they're mentioning big money.
Yeah.
Then second, I just love buildings, right?
Yes.
This is why it pains me especially when I see bad structures. Because I'm like, this is like your oyster. This is like your canvas.
Yes.
You had opportunity to do just anything.
and create magic.
And this is what you can come up with. Like, even if you wanted to do low cost, you wanted to just be average, you could have still done it with attention to detail. But they don't. Like I was saying, there's this problem. I've seen it in African countries. I see that African countries it's not like I see that African countries are building houses that even at carcass level you want to move into.
You appreciate it.
But it's not in Nigeria. I don't know why. In Nigeria, houses, like I said, let's go back to Lekki via Ikoyi. That's where you can see a carcass and you're like, I love what I'm looking at. You can't see a carcass around Aja.
Yes.
If people that buy houses see the house when it's on a carcass level, they will not buy it. They will not agree.
I walked into one and I picked the block that they were using. I did this.
It's so
it's crumbled. I'm like, how am I going to, like, you want me to market this project? It's like, I'm like, how am I going to tell my clients? What am I going to say? What am I going to say? And then they had, the bamboo to hold up the building, and they were trying.
Talking about safety measures.
Safety measures. They had the bamboo to hold up the slab. And they're like, so I'm there with my marketing crew. We're trying to record and everything. It's like, please don't capture the bamboo. I'm like, I thought you were proud. I'm like, I'm sorry, I don't believe in this project. I can't fully represent it the way I should.
When I stayed real estate, I didn't do a lot of Lekki via Ikoyi. Except I was passing.
Yeah.
What I did was mostly this other. So when I now started going around Lekki via Ikoyi to see projects, and I saw nets. First of all, I love houses, but I have not really immersed myself into construction. So I don't know about net. All I know is, yes, I know about irons that can serve instead of the bamboo.
Yeah.
You can use the iron and all of that. But I didn't know about nets. So I now start seeing nets. I'm like, so which means we should be having nets, because the net actually makes sense. Because I keep wondering, if somebody falls from there, nothing just straight to the ground.
Yeah.
And it happens a lot too. It's not like it doesn't happen. A lot of mishap happens.
One of the traumatic experience I had when I just came to Nigeria. I was introducing myself to developers, and they will ask me to come take a look at their project. So I went to see this development project. While I was there, so they had like the balcony with the glass stuff, but it's unfinished. But there was no sign there to say don't lean or anything like that. So the building is almost completed. I confidently walked in and I wanted to hold on to the railing, but the developer luckily was with me. I said, don't touch it. It's just put there. They've not secured it yet. I'm like, thank God. So we finished the tour and I get downstairs. Within 2 minutes of getting downstairs, one of the workers went boom on the floor from the 4th floor. And then he got up.
Oh God, he got up.
Luckily, he got up. The next thing, blood gushing. I immediately almost passed out. I don't know if it was the experience of the fact that that just happened to me. And then me seeing somebody right there, I sat down. The people that were with me was not trying to kind of pour water on me. I was like, but they had to also focus on the guy that was that just fell. They're telling him to hold on. They had to carry him and rush him to the hospital. I don't know. I didn't go back to that site. I don't know what happened to him, but I was traumatized. And in fact, I kind of stayed away from doing real estate for about 3 months, 4 months after that, because I was like, I can't do it. I can't do real estate in this country. No. But I got over it. Luckily, so here we are. But that was just like, safety is very important. You know how many people really die on construction sites every day because that experience alone.
Even talking about the collapse, because houses collapse. The last 2 weeks, 3 weeks ago, the house collapsed. That should be in Lekki. And luckily, nobody died, because nobody was.
You won't hear of it. You won't hear of it.
Actually, it was all over the internet.
But I know that those news. I know hospital don't keep death records. There's no central database for death records and stuff like that. So you might not even know when things like that happen. But yeah, we've talked a lot. So before we kind of close today's conversation, I thought we'll do a little bit of game.
Okay.
So, given that we have different lived experiences in real estate, in the Nigerian real estate space, I'm not only new, I'm also trying to be very, very different from how things work. So, I might not be fully in tune to how real estate affect the average real estate agent. So, I thought we'd do a little bit of comparison.
Okay.
So, I'm going to be kind of like bringing some light into it from my own Canadian experience, and you be telling me how things actually are on ground here. Buyer's protection. Who is responsible? The seller's lawyer, the seller, the real estate agent, or the buyer themselves?
Well, when it comes to buyer's protection, everybody's involved. Starts with the buyer, actually.
So the buyer,
he or she has to protect themselves by having enough information. I call it spaghetti of information. They should have at least basic information, right? That's their first layer of protection, because they're the one bringing out this money. So you know how hard you worked for it, so you should be able to say, in case people just start blabbing, you can be like, oh, hold it, I know that's rubbish. So that's the first. The second is the three people you need in your team when you are going to buy a property is your lawyer, your surveyor, and the agent. Right? Now, one thing I always want you to know as a red flag here in this country, for me, is whenever they are talking too much, any of them, agents, surveyor, anybody that has to just talk too much, just know that person might actually put you inside trouble.
Behind something, or
No, most of the time it's just to put you into trouble by, instead of focusing on the real solutions, they just keep blabbing just so that they can, this what's the word? Trying to show you that they are the best people.
Yeah.
Instead of focusing on solving your problem. So those are the three people you should have, but make sure that they are professionals that just want to do the job. They don't care to be. They're not here to be loved. They're just here to get the job done. So when you have those people on your side, that's another layer of protection for you. Right? I think with those people, they would give you the proper guidance on how to, and let them not know themselves.
Okay, everybody is independent.
Your lawyer shouldn't know your surveyor shouldn't know your agent, because once they ever get to know each other, then they can strike a deal and let this thing just go. Let someone else buy this thing and beg. Let's just move forward.
So in Canada, it's different. Obviously, if you delegate your risk to your real estate agent, right? So the real estate agent is mostly responsible for your protection at the very first layer, right? First layer meaning you do your due diligence, you ask a question, liaise with the seller's agent to make sure that all the questions are answered, and also, if possible, also communicate with the lawyer. Then you do an inspection, which also ensures protection for the property you're buying. So inspecting the property, not just regular viewing, you do like a proper inspection to check on the structure, to check on the plumbing, to make sure that everything is working, to make sure that the building doesn't have any serious issues. The roof is good, the shingles, the water is coming on, connected the way you said they're supposed to be connected. Inspection can be very robust. Then your lawyer final protection. Lawyer's protection is on usually the title, the documentations, to make sure that there's security around what you're actually buying. Then on the buyer, it's pretty much the decision. After all of this have been done and you are aware of all the material facts concerning the sale or concerning the property, you are now making a decision. So, but then full disclosure, anything known and unknown per se, or presumed or assumed, needs to be disclosed. If there are any gap, at least your agents, at the very least, should be able to bring that in at first layer. And then whoever you contracted to inspect the property, and your lawyer will make sure that your title and everything is secure and close the transaction for you. So before it comes to the things that the buyers are actually risking. Oh, I forgot to mention, the seller is also responsible, because if they fail to disclose certain material information and they know, it's also their risk. Even if after the transaction is over, they are still responsible, right? So before it comes to the buyer, the buyers
There always more.
The buyer's risk is more on the financial side, right? I'm buying this property today. Maybe it's what X.
It's always on the financial side for a buyer.
I'm talking about in terms of just the investments
in
itself. Like I'm buying this property for 100,000, and let's say it depreciates. Okay. Nobody can tell you. But like, say I buy a property and somebody did not tell me that. So let's say, assume a common one is a grow house. Maybe they were growing weed in the basement, right? And eventually, maybe the weed was removed, and I buy that property, and I find out that house was a grow house. That devalues the house. You didn't disclose it to me. The agent didn't disclose it to me.
You can still go back.
You can go back.
Oh wow.
And say, this did not happen during my ownership. It happened and you were aware.
That's
so you can go back and
so far-fetched
and claim your
this country.
Yeah, your damages. So there are certain things that that are protected. But again, if I buy the house and maybe the light was working and it stopped working, that's of course I'll fix the house, and stuff like that. But it also happens like for new build. For new build, however, when there's always a warranty, and that warranty survives the original owner. So let's say I buy a new pre-construction.
That's a very brilliant conversation, actually. So that you can actually, get a warranty from a developer.
Yes.
Nigerian developers.
Yeah. So
can you take it?
So you buy a new pre-construction. The government mandates what we call in Ontario we call it the terrain warranty, which means that everything is covered for 1 year, including like lies.
1 year.
Yes, 1 year. No, wait, that's just the first layer. Oh. Then we have another layer of coverage for 2 years. That's when, it happens. So the 2 years coverage, electrical, all of that, they are covered for 2 years. Some basic plumbing things that are beyond cosmetic. And then we have structural coverage for 7 years. So
let me first stop. You know that some developers, their POP would actually spoil, and it's maybe a job of the roof. They would rather just work on the POP and leave the roof.
You can't do that.
And the reason why they're doing that is their focus is to sell. Because they know that once they sell, nobody's warrantical.
No, I personally, when I bought my new build, the shingles flew out. Like there was a little bit of a bad storm, like maybe I think it was just a winter, like windy winter storm. So the shingles, like the roofing sheets, it flew out. Right, and I was seeing them on the floor. So my husband flew his drone over it and saw that some sheets were missing. We called the builder. The builder came in, fixed everything.
The person that bought
yes,
came to actually fix it.
Yeah.
Well, to be honest, that's what we say, that there are different.
I know that yeah.
It's just that most developers. Well, I feel like any developer that will do that for you here in Nigeria or in Lagos, they're doing it just because they understand business. It's not because there's any.
They are mandated to.
Of which you would meet those kind of developers. It's just that you would meet like 80-20. 80% will never. 20% will.
So you can appreciate that these are what diaspora buyers are used to.
So another thing I wanted to correct I just didn't want to talk about it until we were done, was the issue of due diligence. So the reason why we are talking about the ills of our society here, the reason why things can't work that way is because, like I told you before, there's a buyer's agent and there's a seller's agent. Here, developers just build houses, and it's out there. Any agent can walk in and market the property. A developer doesn't know who will sell his property.
Yeah.
In this part, and when we talk of seller, we have 80% of sellers are developers. 20% are now like secondary sellers.
Yes.
So let's focus on the developers. These developers, even the secondary sellers. So what they do is they give it to a seller's agent who puts his banner on the property, right? But that's why you cannot blame agents for doing search on properties, because there are so many houses that we are picking. In a day, I can pick 10 houses. I'm not going to do a search on those 10 houses, and especially when nobody calls me to buy them.
Yeah, exactly. It's like you're just wasting your time.
Yeah, and money, because a search on each house can be like, that's basic search is like 50K.
Yeah.
Just to do a basic search. So if I'm doing 50K and I'm picking 10 houses, I have to do like 500,000. How much am I making?
Yeah. That's why you're very selective of the developers that you want to represent or the sellers you want to represent.
That's for off-plan properties. But when it's fully developed, sometimes you cannot select, because in a street you think this is a good area, this is a good environment. They could have 10 houses in that environment.
Yeah.
You can't be selecting when they are all good.
Yeah, I don't think that you should, honestly. I think most of the time the protection comes from that's why, I was actually going to go back to the point when you made about, the seller agent just takes a listen and then just relax. No, that's what the seller agent does.
That's
their due diligence.
That's for that case. Yes. It's for that case. It's a special case where they have given you the property.
Then you have to be the one to do. Yeah. Even there might be things that the seller does not know about the property, that just because you've done your own due diligence, I think you are revealing to them.
When you should start doing that is, sometimes people that call themselves sellers agents here in Nigeria don't have the contracts.
And they will say, I hear the word like direct mandate. What do you mean by direct mandate? What do you mean? Like, the seller sent you? Like, that's not representation.
Yeah, it just means that I'm talking to the seller and the one. But the thing now is, most times these sellers don't draft an agreement and say, okay, I've officially, because that's why you can still be the seller's agent. And
right.
they like, okay, I'm even going too far. Let me tell you a story. I have a client currently. We're currently searching for a house, and I saw one of the houses in Jakonde, and he's very picky. He's a very picky young guy, but he's very picky. So we finally found a property that I feel like he likes. And then he told me I should go and make inquiries. He's not in the country, he's in Canada. So that I should go and make inquiries on the property. So I called the lady who was in charge of the property, who is the direct mandate.
Yeah. The messenger.
Yes.
I'm sorry. I'm not direct. Forgive me.
So I called her and I'm like, I'm coming to check out this property. And then, first of all, the first day because we finished that conversation around 2:00 with my client. So that was when he woke up. And then he was like, okay, I should go and check. And then I called around 4 that same day, telling her that I'll be there the next morning, because the guy is very hard to please. So to see this one that he told me to go and check, I want to go and rush and check it. So I told him I'm coming first thing tomorrow morning to come and check this house and make a proper video for because the video was quite strange. So I said I'm coming to check it out. And she's like, okay. And that the whole day she didn't give any response. The next morning, and I'm now like, okay, yeah, I planned my day. I didn't think that she would tell me any story. So I felt maybe she forgot, because agents, sometimes your hair is just full. You cannot remember everything. So I'm thinking, okay, maybe her head is full and she cannot just remember all these things. Let me just dress and head to the place. And then I call her, I'm like, I'm coming. She sends a long message. And that the owner of the property, that she is the direct mandate to sold the property to his friend.
And you did not know?
I did not know until I told her to go and now check. So see how the seller's agency is a joke here. It's a complete joke.
Please, guys. Like, if you are like a serious agent, let's fix this. These things are easy.
Are you really going to blame? Okay, another thing is, the society, let's leave real estate now, focus on values as a society. We're in this place where once people make money, they don't really have respect for the person that's lower than them. So
I'm glad you mentioned that, because there's so much disrespect to realtors. So much. It's like it's mad. Honestly, like I was at an event, and I was talking to, but sorry, I digress. I was talking to, some people, and just like, what you do? I'm like, I'm a real estate agent. I was talking to them, and it came to me. It says, sorry, I'm building an app that's going to eliminate all real estate agents from Nigeria. I'm like, okay.
You can never do that. I don't know why people think that. A guy, I know it's funny, a guy that I respect very well, he will know, if he ever comes across this video, he will know I'm talking about him. I respect this guy very well. He went to Dubai, come back, and you're building an app that would eliminate agents. Do you even know what agent is? Do you know the meaning of that word, agent?
It's because you see the profession from a very myopic point of view.
Yeah.
And you don't understand everything that it comes with.
Honestly, it's beyond, this is the house. It's beyond that.
For me now, okay, we've just talked about the due diligence part, which is one of them. We've just talked about taking responsibility from your buyers or people we've just talked about liaising with, navigating the complexity of the developers and the Nigerian real estate market. I mean, there are other things that an agent does that you can't even put on paper.
If you can eliminate with an app, there has to be some hungry agents It has to be.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah.
Those ones that are not professional, that are not ethical, I agree that there needs to be something that eliminates those kind of things. Like everybody can just wake up one day. You know, one thing that beats me is that you get a call from someone say, "Oh, I have a friend that wants to buy a house." Just because that person have a friend that wants to buy a house, automatically that person is an agent.
My junior brother wants to buy. I'm the lead agent. I even demanded to the buyer. Is that crazy? when he pays my account, when he pays the commission, it goes to his account. And after that transaction, he's never doing real estate.
No, say just because you know of somebody, you understand now, and then you expect me to ride with you.
Yeah,
that's not gonna happen. I'm sorry.
So the thing is, I feel like, thank God we're having this, which is the essence of this whole conversation. We as a people, we are very far. Both rich, poor, average, everybody's just so far.
It's a poverty mentality. I don't get it.
Because like you said, when people travel to this Canada, US, UK, they behave. They are so behaved. They understand how it works. Even they are so behaved to their fellow Nigerians.
Yeah.
They're so behaved. But when they are here, they just act. Do you know, I have run before when I stay real estate, which I would never, ever do in my life again. When I stay real estate, a client came and I met him. I was meant to meet him at the house was just down the road. I was meant to meet him somewhere so I can just take him to the car. Then I was not mobile. So naturally, even if you do want to pick me in your car, you're meant to stop and ask me where is the house, and then I would now point to the house. Then I'll probably walk to the house since I don't want to enter your car. You don't want me to enter. It's fine. But that's not what he did. Like, okay, let's go. And then I was like, let's go. How I'm like, then I didn't know really I was still taking training, so I didn't really know what my right was. And So I was like, let's go. In my mind, I'm like, let's go. How was this man talking? And then he expected him to. I was jogging, and I was. Wow. I was jogging. It has happened twice. That was when I started. It happened twice. The other one was she came to they got to the estate. And I had to give them access into the estate. That's how the estate works. I had to use my agent's card to give them access into the estate. And then when they got to the gate, they're like, so you're not mobile? I said, yes, I'm not mobile. I'm sorry. Can I please ride with you? And then they're like, I don't know. Very long Sienna. A very long Sienna, very spacious. This latest brands that are more spacious than the old brands. You know, and then you're like 5 kids, though they were all of huge sizes. But I could have just fit in somewhere, or probably, I don't know. It's their car, so it's their choice. But the thing is, at least you should ask me questions like, okay, how are you going to get there? And then we figure out how. I don't have to waste your time, but that's not what they did. I was walking and jogging, and they were following me at the back. They were just rolling their car. So, anyways, that's like, maybe it's my fault. I should have been working with a professional real estate company that will give me a car. So maybe that's my fault. But the point is, it's just, for me, let's leave my professional part. Let's say, okay, this guy is unprofessional. Let's focus on you as a Nigerian. I say, no, I would never. Like that humanity. That's basic humanity. Like, I mean, it's not the responsibility of the buyer to do that. But let's just talk about it in a way that, like, basic human decency. But I've also been in situations too, like especially when I just came in and I was looking for a place for one of my staff to rent because she was relocating from Abuja. I wanted them to be in person. And I had a situation whereby this happened. I did give the agent a ride, no problem, but they weren't properly kept. I don't know how I don't know how it was in the same place now, because I was just about to say that. I'm like, who's your agent? When I pick some agents into my car, I'm like, bro, you should know that this. I mean, you want to mess up my. I was like, perhaps. Yes, the atmosphere immediately and the mood changed. They want to talk. Even with their bad order, they want to talk. They want to raise their armpits. Show you places. Christ. I'm sorry. But anyways, we survived that. But I can imagine myself the next time I'll be like, no. Please. So that's why I feel like clients, agent, relationship is very important. Before I step out of my way, before I actually feel like I need to represent you, you need to choose me. And I need to choose you. So there's no choosing. It's like you just pick up the number. Instagram, you know what I mean? What's your number from Instagram right now? No. Oh my God.
Interview me. Let me know how I'm gonna represent you. Then move on to another person.
And
Interview the person.
And then they complain that
you don't get a service, and then you're complaining that all agents are this, but you haven't given me a chance to show you. We don't have a client and agent relationship. What I owe you is just the property at that particular point in time. There's no relationship. When you take your time to interview the agent that you're trying to deal with and sit them down, and then you understand if we're compatible, you build something more than just showing of property. It becomes more than transaction. I've known you. You've given me disclosure. You've asked me questions. I've also given you certain level of disclosure, how I do things. You've weighed my experiences to see, am I going to sign this person up to represent me? Once we establish that, then you trust me to do my job.
Simple. A guy, I ran an Instagram ad, and a guy came in from the ad asking me about a property, and then I was replying. Somehow, I told him something. I can't remember what I told him, but then he reverted a question, a response. He gave me a response, and then the response had like a touch of trying to be sarcastic in what I said. So me, I laughed about it. I'm like, this was like in 5 conversations or 6. But me, I found the thing funny. I just laughed. They're like, why they laugh? I say, my brother, I don't care if you have 1 billion. You just carry your sadistic nature and be going.
Yeah, because we're not compatible.
It's just a simple joke.
Yeah.
It's as simple as, okay. But people are like, I mean, this agent, how would I be laughing with you?
Yeah.
It means you have a problem. I don't want to know you. Take your 1 billion, 10 billion, and just walk down the road. I don't.
I mean,
but it takes. I think it takes. You get to that point where you're not that kind of a person, right? It took me a while, so I will not lie, But when I started, any conversation that led to me solving your problem, I wanted to be there.
No, I walk away, like, especially when I'm not dealing with the end user. Like recently, I walked away from a deal because we have the buyer's mandate. I know the person have the buyer's mandate. I'm like, is this some kind of representation?
They feel like I know what's funny about agencies. They don't learn. You are saying you have a buyer's mandate, but you know that this buyer is not with you.
You don't even know the buyer's first and last name.
Hey, you know it's not with you. You know that this buyer can't.
You don't even know the buyer's. Yeah, like you don't even have the buyer on contract. My contract it's not the guarantee that buyer is going to work with you, but at least he has given you an opportunity to establish some sort of legal authorization to act in the best interest of that person. And because you've gone through that, you also understand the buyer's need, and you're not roaming around calling people and wasting people's time.
Jesus, agents are not scared of wasting your time as a fellow agent. You just feel like you and them are doing the same thing. So when you call me and I'm not responding, this lady, I thought she actually left my group, because I have a group where I share my listings of fellow agents. I thought she left, but apparently she didn't. Because she kept on forwarding briefs, urgent request. I'm like, you don't even know the direct mandate. You don't even know the direct mandate to this brief. Talk more of knowing who. I mean, people can just wake up and cook up any brief just to be busy.
Yes.
Me, I can stay days, and I'm not talking about any real estate transaction, and I'm happy. Because I know it's not a serious transaction. I don't need to be there. But these people know it's not the same thing. They just want to be busy. 5 bedroom, that 5 bedroom.
Well, I think we will come back to this agent conduct again on another. I think we can go on and on for days.
Everybody's involved. Everybody, I will not bash it because I'm an agent. So everybody's involved. Everybody, both the buyers, the sellers, everybody's involved.
Yeah, even me. I've been tempted to kind of like act. I need to catch myself to say, no. This is not how you do things. And for me, I'm always like somebody that try to put systems and processes in place. So I took a step back. I'm like, let's establish some very solid system. So when you pick up the phone now and you want to tell me about buying a property or whatever the case is, and it's cold calling and we don't have any like kind of formal relationship, I'm letting you know, I hear you and I'll be so happy to support you, but this is how I work. At first, we need to have a conversation. If you are not here, that's fine. Let's book a Zoom consultation. Let me understand your need. Let me understand how I can help you, what you want me to do for you. Once I get that on check, that's when I now know that, okay, we have something to do. Then the next step, I might send you a listing or two if we don't get to the KYC stage yet. The next step be like, okay, now that we've agreed that we want to work with each other, can I have proof of who you are? What do you do for a living? All of that. documented, right? Let's know.
They have lost a Nigerian buyer.
Let's know.
First of all, Nigerians, we have real estate is funded by a very funny economy.
Yeah, and
so first of all, when you're asking that kind of question, like, are you EFCC? Why are you asking me that question?
I'll share my own idea with you, my own credential. I mean, that's why that regulation helps, because for us, you can actually go and check who this person is. I can give you my Tyron number. You go and you put it in the database. It's going to come out. This is who she is. This is who the brokerage that she signed to. You know, if you want to even check how long I've been in real estate, hey, Bob's your uncle. You know, you can see all of that. Plus, agents are insured.
Okay.
You know, so you are forced to have insurance too.
It's even crazy. So, let's go back to the government a bit before we. Yeah. There's something called the LASRERA. So it's more like Lagos State Real Estate Regulatory Agency.
Yeah.
If I'm correct. So LASRERA came out. There was a time, Nigerians always complain, agent. So I think Lagos State government responded with LASRERA. And they told everybody, every agent, if you must practice in Lagos, go and get. So guess what? I got for agent and development. Company. So we got their license for agency and for development company. I paid until today. LASRERA's website is down.
Yep, I paid too.
Down.
Same thing.
And my money, I don't know whether that money is gone.
I think it's gone.
Yeah, because up to now, the LASRERA website, how can the website be down for almost 6 months now?
Yes.
And so what the conversation, I just feel like, I feel like
it's what we'll do
here is just every day
we'll come. But I think we unpeel. I think we take away from what we can do better. And anybody that wants to do better can also take away from it, because change will not happen at the top-down approach. I think for us, change is going to happen from like a grassroots level. One person deciding to do different. I think also we are realizing now that difference is important. So if you don't fall within that category of people that are trying to make themselves different, you're going to lose a lot. We know that most people the middle class in Nigeria does not exist. Is either you're poor or you're rich in Nigeria. You know, so the people that are actually investing in Nigeria are diaspora community, are people who are now the new middle class are the diaspora community. And those are the ones that are buying, and they are expecting more now because now they know better. They've experienced better. Maybe some of them are already homeowners in the country where they live and they're looking to invest here. So guess what they're going to be attracted to? Let me just put it that way. Somebody who speaks the same language, who is acting and who is positioning themselves to understand what they are trying to get. Yeah. And trust is a big factor. We need to work to earn that trust, right? And we've lost it. It's going to take a lot of actors, a few developers who want to do better, maybe a few government actors who want to do better, and just a few individuals, the buyers too. A few individuals who want to do better. This is like a big cooking pot, and we're all guilty.
Yeah, I feel like we'll have like a conversation where today we can talk about the government and honestly, my thinking, I don't like to talk about problems. I like to talk about the solution.
Yes.
So today, this is our first episode. So of course, it's good.
We're ranting today. We're just going anywhere. So like next time we come in, we'll be tackling a particular
thing and drop what we think are actionable steps.
Yes, absolutely. So yeah, we kind of digress from our game. So I think when we come back
that game is a lot. That's why
it's so unpacked.
For every question you ask, we have like 1 hour.
It's like the conversation just keeps going. Yeah. But this is what I like to kind of get my viewers to do. If you've had any experience specifically within the Nigerian industry, within the Nigerian real estate space that made a difference, that was maybe like you thought, oh, this is good if we could do that. Because at the end of the day, I can't really come here and say what works in Canada will definitely work here, because we're different people.
We have to respect that.
We have to respect our own uniqueness. So we have to do something that is unique to us, that will survive, that has that Africa and cultural element. We can't completely dismiss how things have been done.
It's even so annoying that the houses we build these days are so American and Canadian. I mean, we are Africans. Yes. Have you looked at our architecture way back?
Have you seen Ghana? Have you seen how and it's so beautiful. There are people.
The world should be coming here to copy from us. Yes. Coming here to see what we're doing, bro.
Yes, we have so much to offer. So much to offer. In terms of tourism You understand? I look like our water side, and I'm like,
our water is like blue or black.
You know, like how much we're sitting on. Like it's just a lot. Like, you know, where this whole lack of organization is costing us more than it's benefiting us.
That I respect him so much. I'm sure he knows I respect. I call him a mentor, but the guy thinks, and he just came up with tourism, boat instead of, because I never ever thought about it that you can actually rent a boat in Lagos. So I think he was one of the pioneers of that business where people can. And when he started that business, I had my doubts. I'm like, how long will this go? But I now realized that actually we have a problem of enjoyment. We don't have things to enjoy. If it exceeds going to the bar to go and drink,
that's it.
You know, one loud place, or if we don't have any enjoyment. So and right now he's successful. The business is so successful.
It will be.
You know, and the reason why is because he's solving a problem that we didn't know we had.
Yes.
So let's not even go into tourism because it's a long.
No, tourism is a different conversation. But that point, and I thought maybe this would benefit somebody. If you're thinking about a business idea, you know that, and for business idea, you can actually start with no money. You could actually create an experience package. Not that you have any of this experience, so just by putting a collection of people's experience together, put it out there on the internet and sell that experience. So when people come, they buy that package. Like when we went to Mexico, we did like somebody had that experience package where it included a boat cruise, food tasting. They took us around the market. Not that they did anything. We just went around the Mexico market, trying out people's drink. Okay. Trying out people's food, street food.
And then you guys didn't have to pay anything.
We paid the person that made that package the experience.
Okay.
So it took us to we did that wine tasting. We tasted their Mexico teas and stuff like that. Took us to the markets, you know.
Enjoyment.
Sample food. Like you have an arrangement with the restaurant. I'm bringing a team. I'll bring them. You give for like pre-cook back. Of course, you're going to pay those people small. But those foreigners have already paid you that money.
Yeah.
In advance.
And they paid a lot more than what you're paying.
And they pay. And then eventually we ended up in go-karts. Oh. Those go-kart through the mud, which was very messy, and it took us to like nice waterfall. Some people took the jump. I didn't. I'm not risking my life, and at the end of the day, I'm still 100% Niger. So I took the jump. I didn't. But then I just thought about it. Like when I came to Lagos, first of all, because I've been out for so long, I didn't really know Lagos, and I was looking online, looking for like somebody to do like a local tour for me. I mean, people say I'm whitewashed, that's it. But no. But I was tired of all the, you want to experience Lagos, all the like, go to this fancy restaurant. I mean, from Canada, fancy restaurants over there. Like, and I just want to, try the local market. Take me to the craft market. Take me to a tour of the craft market. Let me get a little souvenir at the end of the tour. At the end of the day, take me to a nice waterfront where I can get horseback riding. That's an experience.
So it's apart from the package, we also what about the coordination?
That's where we are. That's what they are paying for.
No. I'm not talking about coordination of the movement. It's coordination of the things that we are coming to experience.
So because you have to curate it with people, trusted vendors.
No, not even that. When you talk about tourism, right? You have to talk about the government putting things in place that people would want to come and explore, where the people that would offer the services that people will come to explore can actually stay in. So when you talk of craft market now, there's a craft market in Jakarta. Have you been there before?
I've been there.
Did you love it?
Listen, I'm like, why is nobody doing a tour of this?
And again, why is the place that way? It could have been better improved.
It can be,
because that's that's a serious it talks about our culture, the kind of people we are,
the artists, all the artwork that are there, they need to be displayed in a certain way. It's like this is our prominent, like in Paris. You have
the leisure.
Yeah. When you just enter, maybe some zobo.
Yeah.
Like Ghana,
if not for Nike Art that actually had to, in her brilliance, to coordinate all this and turn it to a proper museum, which is like the few galleries that people
can go. Yeah.
But that market should be like a full-blown Nikki Art Gallery.
When I took a road trip to Ghana with my team a couple of months ago. When we got to Ghana, and you asked people, what can we do in Ghana? Nobody's telling you about food.
Good.
They are telling you need to go to this what's it called again? But there were a bunch of places that they'll tell you. And then if you want to experience the food, local food, go to the night market, go to the Accra night market, you go to Kwame something museum, you go here, you go to Liberty Square. Let me ask you. I'm new to Lagos. What can I do in Lagos?
Yeah, to go. But as an agent, right?
Yeah.
Because one thing I try to do is to also educate people on new areas. I don't even see much places apart from the only thing one thing I for sure that I can tell you that you will see is the lounge, a new lounge that opened for sure. You always definitely I can tell you if you're talking about lounges. I mean, I have 100. Even before we started this recording, I told you about the one that a pastor went to go and bless.
Yeah.
So there are so many lounges. If that's the one you're talking about, I'm talking about
things that actually relate to what those are borrowed stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Those lounges are borrowed. Yes, American. That's not us. That's not authentic. You don't experience a true Nigerian that way. Mm-hmm. So I think we need to start looking into that. When we're thinking about real estate and development, these are all part of the conversation.
Now let me add that before we actually, because most people don't understand it when I say that real estate is more than a project. Mm-hmm. Real estate is everything. Yeah. It's more than this is a property. Real estate is everything. Everything, if you actually think about it, every single thing we do is real estate. Yeah. It's done with real estate. If you really think about it. School, house, business. Do you even know that a parking lot is somebody's real estate? Yes. So dirt, sand. Everything is real estate. The water. Yeah. So the thing is, when people invest into real estate, like me, I was thinking recently, what about buying a land and building a school to sell it? Instead of to just, because there's a developer, School of Hard Knocks, right? I saw an interview. The developer said what he does is to build schools and sell it. You see? So what about that? I mean, build schools and sell it. Instead of allowing people to just convert a 4-bedroom, which is always what happens. A 4-bedroom semi-detached duplex is converted to a school. Why not just build a proper school and sell it? Right? Digress. So there's a lot of things that we need to do, but people are not actually asking the right question. And we can't ignore the fact that real estate, from the day you are born, you touch real estate. Every single day. You touch real estate. From the moment you land on earth. You are in either somebody's property or you are in your own. Yes. Someone owns that. Always. That's why it's very important. It's a very, very important conversation to have. And the issue surrounding it is not just a government issue. It's our issue. It affects us. It affects our daily life. Even roads. People say, "Oh, I'm homeless." You are standing on real estate. Mm-hmm. You are sleeping under the bridge. That's real estate. That's real estate. So no matter what, so real estate is such an important part of life. It's just as important as the air that you breathe in. It's everything. It's everything. If you check the, I think it's Maslow's law of needs. I can't remember who has that law. But if you check the basic human needs, it's always clothing. It's housing, shelter, clothing, housing, and shelter, food. Food too requires real estate. Real estate is food. Food is real estate. You understand? So you can't remove one from the other. But yeah, let us know what you'd like to talk about. If you're also a real estate actor and you feel like you have a richer depth of understanding, we would like to also have you. Mm-hmm. You can join one of our episodes and, just let us know who you are and you want to be part of this conversation, and we'll invite you and we'll have a more robust conversation. I also want to know what is going on in the minds of other real estate. Yes, I'm very interested. So if you're a realtor and you want to join this conversation, please let us know. Send us a message. Mm-hmm. And if you have not already done so far, if you have not subscribe, make sure that you subscribe to our YouTube channel. Follow our Instagram as well as on all platforms. We'll leave that in the description below. Join the conversation and please share. If this video doesn't benefit you, maybe it will benefit somebody. You'll never know. So it doesn't cost you anything to share. So go ahead and share. Like we've talked about, real estate is very important. Share, invite people to join the conversation. Share your opinions too. We'd like to hear what you're thinking about the topics that we're having here.
But yeah, I think we can call it a day because we could we're both so passionate about real estate.
Yes.
So if we wanted this to go on for 5 hours, we will not stop. We'll keep
We have a
going.
lot of things that we haven't even talked about.
Yeah. In fact, I keep pinching myself.
A lot to do.
Try. Just let it go. But yeah. So yeah, thank you. If you made it this far, thank you for joining us. Thank you for your support. And yeah, until next time.
Bye, yeah.
Bye.